Minnesota Vikings have moved 2018 fourth-round defensive lineman Jalyn Holmes back and forth between defensive end, defensive tackle, three-tech, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. Finally, the Vikings seem to intent on having the former Buckeye serve as Danielle Hunter's backup at left defensive end. I think it's a perfect spot for him. Frankly, it probably should have been it's probably where he should have been all along, and might actually salvage his career as the Vikings hope to get something out of the former fourth-round pick. So, a recap: Jalyn Holmes, 24 years young, 6'5", 283, former fourth-round pick out of the Ohio State University. Came to the Buckeyes as a former four-star recruit coming out of the University of State of Virginia. Nailed it. Now, he didn't start until his senior season, was primarily a rotational defensive end for the Bucs, did kick inside from time to time, and was overshadowed because played with both of the Bosa brothers, played with Sam Hubbard. I mean, there's always going to be a tons of talent coming in on the defensive line for Ohio State, and figured when he came in that his best use would be a base defensive end that does kick inside on passing downs, which I think is going to be his role this year. And when he was drafted, he didn't have the athletic pedigree of a Danielle Hunter or a Brian Robertson or an Everson Griffin. You look at mid-round picks that the Vikings brought in before. Generally, you're betting on athletic traits, giving them to Andre Patterson, and away you go. So this actually struck me as more of a Scott Crichton type pick, if you remember him from back in the day. Defensive end. Force guy, still going to be used more against the run, and whatever pass rush you get out of him, it's just a bonus, right? Because even though it's not overly sexy, defensive end who's going to be stout up against the run is going to be important. But tough kid, strong, something for Patterson to work with. As a rookie, played 58 snaps over 5 career games, recorded his first and only sack against the Jets, just fueling the fire of the dumbest rivalry in sports history, Vikings versus the Jets. Decided last year to kick him inside, vied for the three-tech role. Remember, in training camp, it was Jalyn Holmes and it was Hercules Mata'afa was looking so damn good, potentially replacing Sheldon Richardson, rotating into that three-tech spot. But then, nada for both of them. Jalyn only played 82 snaps during the season. Most of them week 17 against the Bears, was sprinkled in for both of the playoff games, but didn't notch a single pressure and only recorded 3 tackles. So, bit of a lost season. And coming into this year, it's just like, what's going to happen year 3? Are the Vikings actually going to get something out of Holmes? And now the Vikings, for edge rushers, lost Weatherly, free agency, to the Panthers. Also lost Everson Griffin just recently to the Cowboys, which, you know. So you got Fadio Denebo stepping in as starter. Now they've shifted Jalyn Holmes back to left defensive end, which, again, I think is his natural position. It's where he played the bulk of his college snaps at that left defensive end, at that Leo position. And has had to fight through, very good at fighting through tight end trash as well as the strong side of the offense. So I think that's where he's going to find a home. Plus, he does have that capability still of kicking inside on passing downs like a Fadi and Weatherly last year. And you've seen that in practice where even though Jalyn Holmes primarily been working at that left defensive end spot, occasionally they do rotate him back in defensive tackle. And also, I think his path to relevance this season is much clearer at that defensive end spot. Like, you could break training camp and Jalyn Holmes is your number 3 defensive end. I think that's seriously possible. Where the Vikings keeping the training wheels on the rookies, 4th-round picks DJ Wanham, James Lynch, as well as 7th-rounder Kenny Willekes are not exactly getting the time of day as of yet. So you got Jalyn Holmes and Cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough. Those are the second-team defensive ends on the Vikings. Also, you got Anthony Zettel being sprinkled in there as well. So, also, Jalyn Holmes is getting a lot of run with the ones, with Danielle Hunter being held out or limited in practice, being just precautious with him with his tweak. So, I mean, Jalyn Holmes has a chance to really impress this year. He could make an impact like a Fadi did last year, like Weatherly did 2 years ago. And it's certainly possible because even though Holmes hasn't done much his first 2 seasons, I think year 3 working with Andre Patterson and finally finding a role for himself in his natural position could be big things. Also, he changed his number, so he's 91 now. You just watch him practice. Like, oh, Weatherly's back. No, it's Jalyn Holmes. There you go. But your thoughts, what the Vikings going to get from the third-year Buckeye? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull us up on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol. Production value.